Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and I am Akash, and in today's video I'm not going to talk about a design fundamental or a Figma tutorial. In this video I'm going to talk about a topic that has been bothering me for a while since it's related to design, so I'm just putting up my opinion. And the topic for today's video is boot camps. So if you are someone in design or trying to get into design, somebody is new in design, you must have heard of this term UX UI boot camps or design boot camps in general. They are all over the place right now, and they're exploding as of now. I mean, there's tons of design boot camps that are there online available as of now. All of them started with a good intention, I would say. There was a gap that was created because the design industry is evolving a lot faster than our traditional education. The institutions are not able to catch up with it, right? So the design educational institutes are not able to catch up with the change in the design industry that is happening right now. So there's obviously a gap between what is being taught and how it is implemented in organizations. And that gap is being filled by these boot camps, cohort courses, all same type of things, just with different names. But yeah, these are the gaps that is being filled by these so-called boot camps. And as of now, the gap is huge. So that's why there is a lot of boot camps that are cropping up every other day, right? In this video, I'm going to talk about the problems that I see with boot camps and how can you be more vigilant in choosing a boot camp and then putting up your hard-earned money into that boot camp, right? So let me start with the problems that I see with boot camps. TLDR, I feel like almost 90% of the boot camps out there are scams. That's my opinion. Like, feel free to disagree with me on the comment section. Why I'm saying that, maybe they're not scam maybe a harsh word, but I would say they're not great, or they may not be the optimum thing for your money that you're putting in. Especially when that money is borrowed from your parents. In most cases, it's like borrowed from your parents and relatives. So in that particular manner, I think they are not good. Almost 80 to 90% of these boot camps out there. Starting with the problem number one that I see with these boot camps that are there in today's world. First is, most of them are started by people who don't have any credibility in design. Now, when I say credibility, I'm not saying they should have a design degree. I'm saying they should have at least something that speaks about their work. They should have some industry experience before they start teaching you about designs. If they don't know the basics themselves, how can they teach something like this, something about design, to someone who is absolutely new in the design, right? So people who are coming into design, people who are really newbies in design, they are kind of gullible and they don't understand the difference between a bad teacher and a good teacher, right? So if the person who is teaching you design don't have any credibility, in that case, I think it's not ethical for them to start a boot camp. But I'm seeing the exact opposite of it. People who just have like done one internship, two internship, or just running boot camps, becoming mentors, right? So that's a really bad scenario to be in design, because the newer batch that is learning from these people who don't themselves have any education, they're just creating more bad designers, right? So the new designers, they will think that, okay, this bad design that is being taught by this guy is the good design. So that's the one problem, that people in the design industry or people in the industry who are running these boot camps, most of them don't have any credibility. A simple example is, if you go for, let's say, analogy I'm trying to give, if you go to a doctor for a surgery, you always look for the doctor's experience, right? I mean, you won't be getting a surgery from a person who don't have any experience in surgery. So why it should be any different in design? You should always go for a boot camp. I'm not saying don't go for a boot camp. I'm saying go for a boot camp which have credible people running it, so that they have some credibility, they have some work that they can showcase, they have some sort of experience that can talk about their experiences, right? So always look for credibility, and credibility is what is missing in a lot of these boot camps. That's first part of the problem. The second part of the problem that I feel is highly expensive boot camps that I'm seeing coming up. Anywhere ranging between from $1,000 to $5,000 to even $10,000 boot camps for like a 1 month or 2 months courses. That too, they're teaching on weekends, and the rest of the thing is done by the student themselves, right? So I don't think it should be that expensive. It could be expensive in some cases where the mentor is like devoting a lot of time studying and sitting with you, doing a lot of work for you. It may be worth it in those cases, but boot camps where I see like hundreds of people are there in one batch itself, and then they're paying like $1,000 to $5,000. I personally feel that these companies or these boot camps are just trying to mint money out of these gullible newbies that are coming into design. So always be vigilant around like spending such a high amount of money on boot camps. Especially when a boot camp is above $1,000, you should definitely ask yourself, is it really worth it? Do some research before joining a boot camp like this. I would say when you're doing the research, try to figure out what are the people that are involved in it, what is the curriculum will be like, how are they going to teach it, is offline, is just 1 day or 2 day, rest of the work is done by you. Also, don't get into the scam of showcasing. So a lot of these bootcamps showcase really high credibility people in their front face, but actually actual teaching is done by some other folks, some other mentors or teachers, right? So always figure out who is going to teach you, who is the person that is going to be one-on-one with you. Don't go with the face value of the folks that are being there just for marketing. Try to understand who is going to teach you on a daily basis. Figure out, find the credibility of that person, look into the portfolio, and just get to know more about the person who is going to teach you on a daily basis. Don't get scammed, because that's not your money. In most cases, people are just borrowing money from their parents. So it becomes even more of a responsibility for you to be more vigilant and informed whenever you're joining and paying such a high amount for a boot camp. So any boot camp which is like more than $1,000, I would highly recommend you to do a lot of thorough background check. Third problem that I see is that a lot of these boot camps are just teaching UI design. They don't teach fundamental, and the false tall claims that they put up, like learn UI design in 1 month, learn UX and UI in 2 days, 3 days. You should understand that design is an evolving process. Even if I look back, I've been in the industry for 7 years now. If I look back 1 year, I would say that I have evolved in design a lot. So it's a continuously evolving process. You can't master it in a day or so. So don't get into this false and tall claims that you will be learning design in 1 day or 2 days, something like that, right? So always make sure that you avoid these sort of flashy titles and go for the ones that is more realistic. Okay, so that's one other thing for this. The other thing is, don't go into a bootcamp who's just teaching you UI design and giving you certificates. Trust me, certificates are worthless. I have never hired anyone because he or she had a certificate. We always hire people based on the portfolio. So always look for bootcamps who are trying to make your portfolio better, who are trying to give you more problem solving, who are trying to evolve you fundamentally in design thinking as well, like who are clearing up the fundamentals. So just go through the curriculum and understand if they're teaching the fundamentals of, let's say, typography, color, design thinking in general. If they're just teaching the UI design of like mobile apps and all, that's a red sign. Avoid those type of boot camps. That's another thing. And lastly, whenever you're trying to join a boot camp, try to talk to one of or few of the alumni of those particular boot camps, I would say. Don't talk to the one who got like placed in the big companies, because whatever the batches may be, there are always a few students who are really good and they get into different or in a better company on their own. So don't talk to the ones who like got into good companies. Talk to the ones who are still trying to find jobs or still giving interviews. Try to find those alumni of those particular batches and talk to them about their experiences, how the regular sessions were, right, and how the things have happened, if they're facing any gaps and all, right. So there's a few things that you should make a check out of it whenever you're looking for boot camps. It's a very sorry state of affair that these companies or these people have made UX industry into like a money minting factory, I would say. So try to avoid these type of people who are just trying to con you of your money. Don't go into boot camps who have like thousands of people in just one batch. Try to find boot camps who are doing like 10-15 of in a one batch, and they have good credible people behind it. So that's one thing. And always be vigilant, because it's your money, nobody's going to come and save you. So try to be very vigilant. And the last thing is, before jumping into a boot camp, try to learn from the online resources. I'll put a lot of links of different online resources on the description. They're free, they are university courses. Just learn about them. Try to learn some basic, get the hold of these basic things so that you can ask right questions to these mentors before even joining the boot camps, like basics of typography, color, basics of screen densities, developer handouts, all these basic things. Get an idea first before just randomly jumping into a boot camp. So these are my recommendations, these are my opinions. I feel that most of the boot camps are not doing ethically good. They're just trying to mint money. That's what is I am perceiving from the first view of it. 90% of these I think is bad. So a lot of these are bad, but I think there are good ones as well. I'll try to find and put up a few things in the description if I find good ones. But it's ultimately up to you to talk to people to understand which one to join, and ultimately your decision to be more and more informed whenever you're trying to join a bootcamp. So that's my take on bootcamps. People who are graduated from bootcamp were just messaging me, asking me, okay, we have graduated, we are still not getting job, what should we do? I get a lot of messages around like which bootcamp should I join, is it even worth it or not? So these are my recommendations whenever you get to these bootcamps and when you're trying to join something. Definitely join a bootcamp if you feel it's worth it and then elevate your overall design experience. But be more informed, I would say. That's the only thing that I would put up from this video. And yeah, I hope you like this video. I'll put up more Q&A videos or more this sort of discussion videos in coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, stay tuned and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye bye.